Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our comprehensive series on the North Carolina Notary Public Manual. I'm Cameron Evans from Cape Fear Notary Services, and today we'll be diving into Chapter 2, How to Become a Notary. A brief recap of Chapter 1. In our previous video, we discussed the fundamental qualifications required to become a notary in North Carolina. And to quickly recap, there are 4 primary stop signs you need to clear before proceeding. 1 is age. You must be at least 18 years old. 2 is residency or employment. You should reside or have a regular place of work or business in North Carolina. 3 is legal status. You must be a legal resident of the United States. And 4 is language proficiency. You need to be able to speak, read, and write in English. And as we discussed in our first video, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to conduct all of your notary appointments in English as long as you're providing the correct disclosures, but it is a language proficiency requirement to get commissioned. If you meet these 4 criteria, you're 18, have the correct residency, legal status, and language proficiency, congratulations. You're ready to move from an aspiring notary to an applicant. And Chapter 2 will guide you through this transition by outlining the necessary steps, including education, application, and commissioning processes. The chapter covers taking the required education course, applying for your notary commission, detailing your personal qualifications, the notarized declaration process, the 9 steps to becoming a North Carolina notary public, and the process for recommissioning. Let's break down each of these components to help you understand what it takes to become a certified notary in North Carolina. 1, taking the required education course of study. The first step is to complete a mandatory 7-hour notary public education course. This course is offered through authorized colleges and universities across the state, including all 58 community colleges in the North Carolina Community College system. You can find course schedules on their websites at www.ncommunitycolleges.edu. And I'll also post that link in the description of this video. Some important requirements are identification and the manual. You must present an acceptable form of ID. Refer to Chapter 4 of this manual for what constitutes satisfactory evidence of identification. And then the actual manual itself. We're going to post in the description links to this manual because apparently there is a false one going around on Amazon, and 2 people from my class had to buy one online, the e-manual, right there in the class, or they weren't going to be allowed to proceed. So I'll post those links in the description. There are some exceptions. Licensed members of the North Carolina State Bar are exempt from this education requirement, but they still must obtain the manual and submit the application with the $50 filing fee. And to pass the course, you must attend all 7 hours and score at least an 80% on the final exam. And if you're watching these videos, you're going to be more than prepared for that. This course will just serve as a nice refresher. Step 2 is going to be applying for a North Carolina Notary Public Commission. After completing the education course, your next step is to apply. Obtaining the application, you can get the official application from your Notary Public instructor, any Register of Deeds office, or download it from the Department of Secretary of State website at www.sosnc.gov. Application requirements. Completedness. The application must be filled out entirely and free of errors. If there are 3 or more blank spaces, it will be denied. Timeliness. Submit your application within 3 months of completing the course. Failure to do so will require you to retake the course. And the fee includes a $50 filing fee with your application. And I understand the necessity of attention to detail in this application even better than most. You're going to have to wait at least 2 weeks to get your response from the Secretary of State. in my experience. And I was working under the assumption that that was a given. You know, I took the class, I filled out the application. I thought it was just a formality. I was going to wait to receive my oath notification letter. So when it came back as declined, that was a huge shock to me. And it was completely my fault. But that's why I want us to take a deep look at the requirements of the application. And we're even going to make another video where we look at and we're going to fill that application out together. So given the importance and complexity of this application, we'll be posting another video where we'll fill out the application step by step. So make sure you stay tuned for that detailed guide. The third part is the statement of the applicant's personal qualifications. Your application will require a detailed statement of your personal qualifications, which includes your full name, must match your identification documents. Nicknames or shortened versions are not allowed. Date of birth, you must be at least 18 years old or legally emancipated. We forgot to mention that earlier. Your residence information, provided your mailing and physical addresses along with your telephone number. County of residence, and that also determines where you'll be commissioned. Employment details, include your employer's name, address, contact information, or indicate if you're unemployed, retired, student, or self-employed. Social security number, the last 4 digits are required. Email addresses, both personal and business. Legal status, declare your U.S. citizenship or provide proof of legal residency. Education proof, provide evidence of completing the 7-hour course. Criminal and professional history, disclose any previous convictions or disciplinary actions along with supporting documentation if applicable. And last but not least, your English proficiency declaration, confirm your ability to speak, read, and write in English. After you complete this application, you will need to have the notarized declaration. You must swear or affirm the truthfulness of your application before an authorized individual. This involves signing a declaration that states all information provided is accurate and that you understand your duties and responsibilities as a notary public. The next section of Chapter 2 is called the 9 Steps to Becoming a North Carolina Notary Public. And I might do a separate video on this because it really is a great summation. But step 1 is register for the course, enroll in the Notary Public course at an authorized institution. Again, start that process today with the link in the description. 2, obtain the manual, link also provided. Complete the course. Attend all sessions and pass the exam with at least an 80%. If you're watching this video series, the 80 is going to be no problem. All the sessions is either going to be a Saturday or probably split between like 2 days, like a Tuesday, Thursday, depending on where you pick to do your course. Step 4, fill out the application. Complete and sign your application with your instructor's endorsement. Again, stay tuned for the video where we're going to do that step by step. Step 5 is notarize the application. This was one I was a little frustrated about when I finished my course, and as were the other 15 people, is we just finished a notary course led by a notary, and then afterwards, it was a Saturday at 6 p.m. when we finished. They said, all right, now you have to go get it notarized, and I wasn't able to do that until Monday. So just bear in mind you are going to have to get it notarized. So if you're finishing in the evening or on a Saturday, plan for a mobile notary. Step 6 is submit the application. Send it along with the $50 fee to the Department of the Secretary of State. And then 7 is the happy day when you receive the oath notification, which you'll receive via email. Once you receive the oath notification letter, you have 45 days to visit the Register of Deeds in your county and to take that oath and pay the $10 fee. And last but not least, you'll purchase your seal, obtain your official North Carolina notary seal. And This is listed as last in the notary manual and definitely should be adhered to. I mentioned earlier, which I'll detail in our next video, that I had some troubles with my initial application. I had previously bought a stamp and I had to destroy that because I wasn't able to use the name that I put on there. And we'll get into more details of that in the next video. And then the final little part of chapter 2 is about the process for recommissioning. For current notaries nearing the end of their commission, you can start recommissioning the process 10 weeks prior to expiration. And this involves taking an online examination and submitting a new application with a $50 fee. Specific exemptions and procedures apply, so refer to the manual for detailed information. And that's really it for Chapter 2 of the North Carolina Notary Public Manual. Becoming a notary public in North Carolina is a structured process that ensures only qualified and well-informed individuals are commissioned. Remember, attention to detail is critical, especially when completing your application. Don't forget to check out our upcoming video where we'll guide you through filling out the notary application forms step by step. And this will be an invaluable resource to ensure your application is completed correctly and increases your chances of approval. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. For any questions or services, reach out to Cape Fear Notary Services. That's class. We're here to help you every step of the way. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.